Have you noticed that as you cross the threshold of 60, your body seems to play by entirely new rules? The broad shoulders of your youth might still be there, but they are now accompanied by something else entirely. You try to button the exact same trousers you wore comfortably a decade ago, and they refuse. It is a common story. Most men simply buy a larger belt, chalking it up to normal aging. But beneath the surface, this changing silhouette is not just a cosmetic issue. It is a health warning. There are two types of belly fat. The soft kind right under your skin is called subcutaneous fat. But the hard, protruding belly on an older man is caused by something far more sinister. Medical research shows that this visceral fat is significantly more dangerous than normal subcutaneous fat. Why? Because it actively wraps around your vital organs, literally squeezing your poor heart and liver. This active fat pumps inflammatory chemicals directly into your bloodstream, working against your body daily. For men over 60, ignoring this hidden danger is a massive gamble with your long-term independence. You might feel completely fine right now. You might even still be staying active. But the traditional tools we use to measure our health are fundamentally flawed for this specific fat. Your scale will never tell you where the fat is hiding. Only one simple tool can. A humble measuring tape. Today, we are going to learn exactly how to use it. You might be thinking, but I have not changed my diet. I eat the exact same portions I did in my 40s. And that is exactly the problem. As men age, the body's internal engine fundamentally shifts gears. Let us talk about muscle. It is the most metabolically active tissue in your body, constantly burning calories. Research shows muscle mass decreases by 3 to 8% per decade after 30, known as sarcopenia. With less muscle mass, your resting metabolic rate naturally plummets. You burn fewer calories simply by existing. Simultaneously, men experience a 1% drop in testosterone each year after the age of 30. Lower testosterone makes it even harder to maintain that precious, calorie-burning muscle mass intact. So, if your biological engine is burning less fuel, but you are still eating the exact same amount, that surplus energy has to go somewhere, and in older men it goes straight to the belly as visceral fat. It is a frustrating biological double bind. Your body becomes less efficient at burning energy and highly efficient at storing it. Consider this. A diet that kept you perfectly lean at 40 will slowly add dangerous inches to your waist at 65. It is not a lack of willpower. It is simply a lack of adaptation to your new physiological reality. Understanding this metabolic slowdown is the crucial first step to taking back absolute control of your health. You cannot manage what you do not measure. But to measure it correctly, you must ignore common advice. Because most men have been measuring their waistlines completely wrong their entire adult lives. For decades, the medical community and the fitness industry have worshipped one specific metric above all others: the scale, or more specifically, the body mass index, commonly known as BMI. You step on it, calculate your height-to-weight ratio, and if the number is in the green zone, you feel completely safe. This creates a dangerous illusion of false security for millions of older men. Why? Because a standard scale is completely blind. It cannot tell the difference between dense muscle and fat. More importantly, it has no idea where that fat is being stored inside your body. You could have thin arms and legs, a perfectly normal BMI, yet harbor a toxic layer of visceral fat. This hidden fat directly elevates your cardiovascular risk, silently pushing you toward the #1 global cause of mortality. Research from the National Institutes of Health warns that crossing into obesity significantly multiplies your metabolic dangers. Specifically, having a BMI over 30 increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by a staggering 50%. But here is the catch. You do not even need to be officially obese to face these exact same health risks. If your waist circumference is too high, your clinical indicator is flashing red, regardless of what the scale says. It is time to stop relying on an outdated mathematical formula from the 19th century. The simple yellow measuring tape is your true, unbiased medical detective. Now, let us walk through the exact clinical protocol for measuring your waist. No holding your breath allowed. Mistake number 1. Sucking it in. We all do it out of pure habit and male pride. But your tape measure needs the honest truth. You must completely exhale and let your abdomen rest naturally. Mistake number 2. Measuring over thick clothing. A bulky sweater can easily add false inches to your reading. For a precise medical measurement, the tape should sit directly against bare skin. Mistake number 3, the most common of all, measuring around your belt line, where your trousers sit. Your waist is not your hips. To find the correct spot, locate the top of your hip bone. Use your fingers to gently press along the side of your torso until you feel that hard upper edge. Clinically known as the iliac crest, you want to position the measuring tape directly above this bone, near your navel. Now wrap it evenly. It is absolutely crucial that the tape remains perfectly horizontal all the way across your back. Make sure it is snug, but do not pull it so tight that it compresses your skin. Take one normal breath in, let it all out, and look at the number exactly at the end of your exhale. This simple number holds far more predictive medical value about your future health than any digital scale ever could. According to the World Health Organization, for men, the initial danger zone begins at 94 centimeters, or 37 inches. And the high-risk red zone is officially crossed when your waist circumference hits 102 centimeters, or 40 inches. If your number falls into these zones, do not panic. It is not a life sentence, but rather a clear call to targeted action. That number on your notepad is not an ending. It is the precise starting point of your recovery. The incredibly good news about visceral fat is that it is highly metabolically active. It wants to be burned. When you create the right environment, this dangerous belly fat is actually the very first thing your body destroys. You do not need extreme crash diets or heavy weightlifting right now. It starts with incredibly simple, sustainable movement. Medical data reveals that sitting for over 8 hours a day radically spikes your cardiovascular risk. Whether you prefer that crisp park walk or using a reliable home treadmill, consistency is what saves you. This gentle daily movement sends a powerful biological signal to your body to preserve muscle mass. And more importantly, it gives your heart the exact kind of steady exercise it desperately craves. Next, we must address the fuel. At 60, you simply cannot outtrain a poor, highly processed diet. Your primary focus should be on high-quality, lean protein to actively protect and rebuild your muscles. Swap sugary drinks for restorative herbal teas and dramatically increase your fiber intake to slow down digestion. When your digestion slows down, insulin levels stabilize. Your body finally stops storing fat and starts burning. This is about sustainable, lifelong dietary shifts, not restrictive crash diets that damage your aging metabolism further. Remember, it took decades of your life to build that visceral fat. It will not disappear overnight. But give your body the consistency it needs, and you will take back control of your future. You could eat perfectly and walk every single day, yet still struggle to lose that visceral fat. The missing puzzle piece often reveals itself in the middle of the night, when the world is quiet. Enter cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. It is designed for short-term survival, not chronic worry. When you are constantly stressed or sleep-deprived, elevated cortisol acts as a direct signal to store deep belly fat. It literally tells your body that you are in danger, forcing it to hoard emergency energy around your vital organs. And this defensive metabolic state is heavily compounded by sleep debt. Currently, over 35% of adults sleep less than 7 hours a night. Lack of deep sleep drastically reduces your melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your circadian rhythm and recovery. Without sufficient restorative sleep, your metabolic engine panics and holds on to every single ounce of fat. Have you noticed how you crave sugary, high-calorie foods the day after a terrible night of sleep? That is not a lack of willpower. That is your exhausted brain desperately seeking quick dopamine and energy. To truly shrink your waistline, you must convince your biological systems that they are completely safe. This means establishing a strict, calming evening routine, dimming the lights, and putting away digital screens. By reducing blue light exposure, your melatonin production can finally peak naturally, putting cortisol to rest. Only in this state of deep, undisturbed rest can your body confidently release its grip on that stubborn visceral fat. When you combine consistent movement, whole foods, and deep sleep, your waistline will inevitably begin to shrink. If you search for ways to reduce your waistline, the internet will bombard you with toxic, impossible promises. We have all seen the targeted abdominal machines and vibrating belts being sold. They sell the seductive idea of spot reduction, the belief that you can target burned belly fat. Many older men exhaust themselves doing hundreds of crunches, hoping to carve away the belly. But the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research confirms that spot reduction is a complete biological myth. Your abdominal muscles may get stronger beneath the surface, but the visceral fat simply sits there, entirely undisturbed. When your body needs energy, it draws from fat stores systemically, across your entire body at once. Another dangerous trap is the extreme crash diet, starving yourself for the illusion of speed. These severe calorie deficits only trigger massive cortisol spikes, sending your metabolism into a desperate survival mode. This is why research published in Obesity Reviews shows that 80% of people regain lost weight. And when the weight rebounds, your traumatized body preferentially stores it as deep visceral fat. At 60, your goal is not to look like a fitness model, it is to protect your health. You do not need painful gimmicks. You need the honest feedback of your measuring tape. Patience is your absolute greatest asset. A shrinking waistline is a marathon, not a sprint. By ignoring the toxic noise and focusing on sustainable habits, you allow your body to heal gracefully. Let us examine a very common case study, the vanity sizing trap that gives millions of older men a false sense of security. You might proudly say you still wear the exact same size 36 trousers that you did 20 years ago. However, clothing manufacturers have gradually increased the physical dimensions of garments over the decades to make consumers feel better. Your trousers may claim you have not grown, but a standard measuring tape does not lie, and neither do your internal organs. When you rely on clothing sizes or a basic digital scale, you remain completely blind to the silent crisis developing inside. Deep within, your liver bears the brunt of this hidden visceral fat, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Medical data from hepatology reveals that this silent condition now affects a staggering 25% of the global population. This brings us to the second major tracking mistake, recording the wrong metrics in your daily health journal. Many older men obsessively track their total body weight daily, while leaving their waist circumference completely blank and ignored. Visceral fat actively drives up your blood pressure by stiffening your arteries, yet most men rarely track this at home. The American Heart Association stresses that optimal blood pressure must remain below 120/80. To properly manage your health after 60, you must transition from vanity metrics to objective, life-saving clinical data. By consistently tracking your waistline and your blood pressure side by side, you create a true map of your metabolic health. You stop guessing. You stop letting the clothing industry or an outdated digital scale dictate how you feel about your body. Armed with accurate numbers, you finally have the power to adjust your lifestyle and reverse the biological clock. Beyond diet and sleep, there is a hidden structural factor that makes your waistline appear significantly worse. Decades of sitting hunched over desks weaken your internal abdominal wall, mechanically pushing your organs outward. Simply correcting your posture and engaging your deep core muscles can immediately transform your physical silhouette. Your transverse abdominis acts as a natural biological corset. When strengthened, it literally pulls the fat inward. Clinical data from the Spine Journal shows that core strengthening reduces back pain recurrence by 30%. Furthermore, integrating just 10 minutes of daily stretching reduces overall musculoskeletal pain by 25%. Next, we must discuss a fundamental metabolic catalyst that older men frequently forget: pure, simple hydration. As we age, our natural thirst mechanism fades. Without enough water, your kidneys and liver drastically slow down. Proper hydration instantly increases your resting metabolic rate, helping your body burn that stubborn belly fat efficiently. Replacing just one sugary or alcoholic beverage a day with water creates a massive caloric deficit over a year. When applying these holistic strategies, set realistic expectations. Aiming to lose just 1 inch per month is a medical triumph. You are not trying to banish all body fat instantly. You are gently evicting the toxic tenants that threaten your organs. Even a microscopic reduction in your waist circumference profoundly relieves the physical pressure on your heart and liver. Your yellow measuring tape is not a harsh judge. It is a vital compass guiding you back to vibrant health. It is a lifelong journey of respect for your body, and you have the exact tools to start today. Let us review the ultimate holistic blueprint for taking back control of your body after 60. First, prioritize consistent daily movement to preserve your calorie-burning muscle mass and protect your heart. Second, fuel your body with lean proteins and high-fiber whole foods to stabilize your insulin. Third, ruthlessly protect your sleep to lower cortisol levels and prevent metabolic panic and cravings. Fourth, maintain strict hydration habits to keep your internal organs flushing out toxins at maximum capacity. And finally, stop trusting your clothing sizes or your digital scale. Trust the honest yellow measuring tape. By following this blueprint, you are actively removing the suffocating pressure from your vital internal organs. You are not just shrinking your waistline. You are building a resilient, disease-proof body. Remember, you are not chasing the impossible physique of a 20-year-old fitness model anymore. Leave the confusing digital scales and the toxic internet diet trends behind you. Arm yourself with a simple tape measure, clinical accuracy, and the patience to heal gradually. Your future health and independence are entirely in your hands. Take that first measurement today. Because aging is inevitable, but growing fragile and sick from hidden visceral fat is absolutely optional. Thank you for taking this important step towards a healthier you. I wish you immense success on your journey. This video is for educational purposes only. Please consult a healthcare professional before making any medical decisions.